Rain slashed through the empty street like knives in the dark. The restaurant had closed hours ago, yet the flickering neon sign still buzzed overhead. Inside, a young waitress, no older than 22, wiped down tables, her eyes darting to the windows where the storm raged. A sudden crash echoed as the front door flung open. There, drenched and barely standing, a woman in an evening gown stumbled in. Her mascara streaked down her cheeks, and she reeked of whiskey and regret. The waitress froze. The woman's heels clicked on the tile as she collapsed into a booth, muttering something incoherent. No name. No phone. No wallet. Just tears. And then, a whisper. They left me. The waitress moved instinctively. A blanket. Hot coffee. She knelt beside the stranger and asked, "Are you safe?" The woman's eyes widened, shocked by the kindness. This was not how rich girls were supposed to be treated here. And yet, something fragile cracked in the silence between them. The storm outside had just begun, but something inside had already shifted. The diner clock ticked loudly in the stillness. The storm continued its rage, but inside, a fragile calm settled. The waitress sat across from the stranger, her hands folded, studying her face. "Do you want me to call someone?" she asked gently. The woman flinched at the word. Someone. Her gaze dropped to the steaming cup between her hands. "They're not coming," she said, voice cracked. "They don't care." Silence. Then softly, "I didn't mean to end up here." The waitress tilted her head, her tone quiet but firm. "You're safe now." A tear slipped down the heiress's cheek. "I don't even know your name." "Maya," the waitress replied. "I'm Ava," the woman said, barely above a whisper. The storm growled again outside. But this time, it felt distant. Inside, two strangers sat in a pool of warmth forged by something deeper than words. Recognition, perhaps. Or a rare human grace found only in the worst of nights. Ava's fingers curled tighter around the mug. "I was at a gala," she murmured. "It was supposed to be for charity, but it was all show. My fiancé." Her throat closed, and she shook her head. "He left me there, took the car, said I was embarrassing him." Maya didn't react, just listened. Ava's eyes lifted, suddenly sharp. "You're judging me." Maya shook her head. "No, I've just seen this before. Rich people getting tired of each other." Ava let out a bitter laugh. "I wasn't always rich. I earned this life. Or thought I did." Maya blinked. "What do you mean?" Ava stared into her cup. "My mom was a waitress. Just like you." That stopped Maya cold. Ava's voice dropped. "She died 2 years ago. Cancer. And I swore I'd never end up like her. Working long nights, getting paid in quarters and pity. But here I am." Maya's hands tightened in her lap. "No." The mention of Ava's mother lingered like smoke. "My mom passed too," she said quietly. 3 years ago. Heart failure. She ran this place with me before." Her voice trailed off. Ava looked up, suddenly attentive. "This diner was hers." Maya nodded. "She bought it when I was a kid. Always said feeding people was sacred work." A sad smile touched her lips. "She used to hum when she cooked. I hated it. Now I'd give anything to hear it again." Ava leaned in. "You stayed, even after she was gone." Maya's eyes didn't waver. "Someone had to. And still feels like hers." The silence turned softer, reverent. 2 daughters. 2 mothers. 2 losses that somehow recognized each other across the divide. The door creaked again, wind howling in its wake, but neither woman turned. They were locked in a bubble of honesty, rarely found even between friends. Ava exhaled deeply. "Do you ever feel like you're living someone else's story?" Maya smiled faintly. "All the time." Ava's voice was softer now, like she was remembering herself. "I wanted to build something real. I thought money would help, but it just bought more masks." Maya reached across the table, her hand resting gently over Ava's. "This place is real." Ava looked at her, and for the first time, her eyes weren't sad. Just tired. Thank you, she whispered, for not letting me disappear. Maya squeezed her hand. You walked through that door for a reason. Maybe it's not the end. Maybe it's the start. Outside, the storm began to ease, lightning flashing a little farther away. By morning, the storm had passed. Gray light filtered through the blinds, casting pale stripes across the floor. Maya yawned as she wiped down the counter again. Ava sat at the booth, her evening gown still damp, but her face clean, refreshed and pensive. You stayed all night, Ava said. Maya replied without looking up, didn't feel right letting you go out like that. Ava looked down at the mug between her hands. I don't think anyone's ever stayed for me before. A pause. You should hate me. I was everything my mom warned me about. Maya leaned on the counter. We all end up somewhere we didn't expect. It's what we do after that matters. Ava nodded slowly, then stood. I'll get out of your hair. But before she moved, she turned. Maya, do you think I could come back, not just as a customer, to help? Maya's brow lifted. You want to work here? I think I need to, Ava said. And something real passed between them. A fragile truce between two very different worlds. Later that day, Ava returned in jeans and a sweater, hair pulled back in a loose bun. She stood awkwardly in the back of the kitchen, clutching a notebook. Maya handed her an apron. You ever cracked an egg? I've cracked credit cards, Ava muttered. Maya laughed. Close enough. The breakfast rush was slow, but Ava fumbled through each task, burning toast, overpouring coffee, mixing up orders. She flushed with embarrassment every time. Maya, patient as stone, corrected her gently. You're not failing, she said. You are learning. By noon, Ava had taken a clean order, delivered it, and received a smile from a customer. It startled her. That felt good, she admitted. Maya nodded. Told you. Feeding people is sacred. The weight of those words seemed to land for the first time. Ava wasn't just learning how to work, she was learning how to belong. Ava cleaned tables that afternoon, humming under her breath. Her movements were clumsy but purposeful. A pair of elderly regulars gave her a thumbs up. She blushed. Maya watched from the register, quietly pleased. Later, as they counted receipts, Maya asked, You really meant it, didn't you? About your mom? Ava nodded. She worked double shifts so I could wear new shoes to school. When she died, I ran as far from that life as I could. I wanted people to forget where I came from. I wanted to forget. Her voice cracked. But last night reminded me. I lost something when I left that behind. Maya said, You can't run from roots, but you can grow from them. Ava smiled faintly, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. Maybe I can be both. Someone new and still her daughter. Outside, the sky began to clear fully. That evening, after closing, Ava helped Maya restock the shelves. They moved in rhythm now. Silent coordination formed in just a day. You work hard, Ava said. Maya looked at her. I have to. Rent doesn't pay itself. Do you ever want more? Ava asked. Maya paused. Sometimes, but this place, it's enough. It's real. Ava reached for a can of tomatoes. Real feels rare in my world. She hesitated. Do you think people like me can change? Maya looked at her long and quiet. I don't know what kind of person you were. I know the one you're trying to be now. Ava swallowed. Thank you for letting me try. Maya gave a soft nod. We all start somewhere. And in that cramped stockroom with its fluorescent lights and lined shelves, Ava felt something unfamiliar, peace. The next morning, Ava arrived before the sun. She stood outside the diner holding 2 cups of coffee. When Maya unlocked the door, she looked surprised. You're early. Figured it was my turn, Ava said, offering a cup. They shared a smile. Inside, the smell of coffee and dough filled the air. Ava swept floors, filled salt shakers, and greeted the first customer with a genuine good morning. Maya leaned in and whispered, "You're a natural." Ava blushed. "I'm just trying not to spill anything." They laughed. The diner was still the same. Cracked vinyl seats, humming fridge, the old bell above the door. But something fundamental had changed. Not in the walls. In the people. A girl who once walked in, soaked and lost, now moved like she belonged. And the one who stayed behind found herself no longer alone. 2 weeks passed in quiet rhythm. Ava became part of the diner's heartbeat, her hands steadier, her smile more frequent. Regulars asked for her by name. Maya watched her closely, proud but cautious. One evening, a sleek black car pulled up outside. Ava froze. A man in a tailored coat stepped in, rain dripping from his collar. "Ava," he said coldly, "you've made your point. Come home." Silence fell. The customers paused mid-bite. Ava's voice wavered. "You left me, Nathan." His jaw clenched. "Because you embarrassed me? This place? It's beneath you." Maya took a step forward, but Ava held up her hand. "No, Nathan. This place saved me." His eyes flicked toward Maya with contempt. "You belong in my world, Ava." Ava's shoulders straightened. "Then maybe I don't belong to you." He scoffed, turned, and walked out. The bell chimed behind him. And for the first time, Ava didn't flinch at the sound of someone leaving. After Nathan left, Ava stepped outside into the mist, her breath shaky. Maya followed a moment later. "You okay?" Ava nodded, eyes locked on the street. "I think that was closure." Maya leaned against the doorframe. "Didn't look easy." "It wasn't," Ava admitted. "But I didn't run this time." Maya smiled. "You stood your ground. That matters." Ava looked at her, something like wonder in her expression. "Why are you always here? Why do you care?" Maya shrugged. "Because someone once did that for me. And because I know what it's like to feel invisible." The two women stood in silence, watching headlights pass on the wet road. And in the hush, the weight of the past felt just a little lighter. Ava whispered, "Thank you, Maya, for everything." Maya replied softly, "You're welcome, Ava, for anything." The next day, the diner buzzed with life. A local food blogger had posted about the ex-heiress turned waitress, and curious customers lined up outside. Ava worked double time, delivering pancakes and pouring coffee, nerves barely held in check. Maya kept the pace steady, her calm anchoring the chaos. In the middle of the rush, Ava knocked over a tray of drinks. Soda splashed everywhere. She froze. People stared. But then Maya called out, 5-second rule. Laughter erupted. Ava blushed but smiled, grabbing a mop. The moment passed. Later, while wiping tables, Ava whispered, "I almost ran again." Maya replied, "But you didn't. That's the difference now." Ava looked around at the packed room, the noise, the energy. "Maybe I do belong here." Maya nodded. "You've earned every second of it." That night, Maya and Ava sat together in the office, going over receipts. Ava's eyes scanned the numbers. "You're barely breaking even." Maya sighed. "Yeah. Rent's gone up. Utilities too. I've been behind for months." Ava frowned. "Why didn't you say anything?" Maya shrugged. "It's my burden. I didn't want to drag anyone down." Ava stood abruptly. "No. This place means too much to too many people. We can't let it sink." Maya looked at her curiously. "What are you thinking?" Ava hesitated, then said, "I have some money left. Not much, but enough to help, maybe. Become a partner?" Maya blinked. "You'd invest in this?" Ava's gaze didn't waver. "I believe in this. I believe in you." And in that small room, lit by an old desk lamp and cluttered receipts, something unexpected took root. Trust. The next morning, a new sign appeared in the diner's window. Now under new partnership. Maya stood beside Ava, both women in matching aprons, watching as regulars read the news with smiles. You sure about this? Maya asked. Ava grinned. Absolutely. This place helped me find myself. It's only fair I give it a future. Business picked up. Word spread. Ava brought in themed nights and music weekends. Maya taught her how to handle inventory. They found balance, past and present, memory and ambition. One night after locking up, Ava looked around the quiet space and whispered, "I never thought I'd love anything again." Maya replied, "Sometimes the best homes are the ones we build ourselves." The diner was more than a place now. It was a heartbeat. And two women, once strangers, were its rhythm. Weeks passed. The diner thrived with new life. Local musicians performed on Fridays, and people lined up around the block. Ava's business instincts and Maya's steady heart created magic. But not everyone was pleased. One afternoon, a stern man in a gray suit entered. He introduced himself as Mr. Dunley, Ava's family's legal counsel. "There are financial matters pending," he said coldly. Ava tensed. "I left that world behind." He slid a document across the counter. "Your name is still on multiple trusts. If you refuse to comply, your family could sue to freeze your asset." Maya stood behind her, quietly listening. Ava clenched her jaw. "Then they'll have to. I'm not their puppet anymore." Dunley glanced at the crowd. "A diner isn't legacy, Miss Carrington." Ava stared him down. "It is to me." He left with a huff. Maya placed a hand on Ava's shoulder. "You okay?" Ava whispered, "They're not done with me, but neither am I." That night, Ava sat alone in the back office, staring at the document. Her fingers tapped the edge of the desk. Maya entered quietly, setting down 2 mugs of cocoa. "I don't know what to do," Ava admitted. "If I walk away, I lose everything they've tied me to. If I fight, I lose peace." Maya took a seat beside her. "Sometimes peace costs more than a check, but it's yours to protect." Ava looked at her. "They see this place as a joke." Maya smiled gently. "Then let's prove them wrong." Ava took a deep breath. "I need to talk to a lawyer, maybe even go to court. And I'll be right here," Maya said. "Whatever comes." Ava looked down at her cocoa. "This wasn't the life I planned." Maya replied, "Maybe it's the one you needed." Ava nodded slowly. "Then let's fight for it." The next morning, Ava made calls. To lawyers, banks, even her old family accountant. Her hands shook, but her voice didn't. Maya managed the floor while Ava built her defense. Rumors spread. Some customers whispered, wondering if Ava would leave. One afternoon, an elderly woman left a note on her receipt. "Don't give up. We believe in you." Ava folded it into her apron pocket, eyes brimming. That night, Maya found her sitting on the back steps, exhausted but glowing. "You made it through the first fire," Maya said. Ava smiled. "It won't be the last." "No," Maya agreed. "But now you don't have to face them alone." They sat side by side, watching stars blink into the sky. Ava leaned her head on Maya's shoulder. "How did this become home?" Maya whispered, "Because we built it that way." Court came quickly. Ava stood tall in a tailored suit, Maya seated in the back row for support. The courtroom echoed with judgment, family representatives speaking of responsibility and disgrace. Ava's lawyer made her case: financial independence, new income, no breach of trust. Still, the pressure was heavy. During recess, Ava paced the hallway. Maya joined her. "They want to crush you with guilt," she said. "Let them try," Ava replied. "I'm not that girl anymore." Inside, she took the stand. "I've lived both lives," Ava said. "The one money built, and the one I've built with my own hands. I choose the second. I choose dignity." The court fell silent. Verdicts would come later. But something deeper was already decided. In Ava's posture, her eyes, her voice. The court ruled partially in Ava's favor, her access restricted, but not revoked. Enough to keep the diner alive. Enough to keep her free. The first thing she did was buy new tiles for the restroom floor Maya had complained about for months. "You really did it," Maya said as they laid the tiles themselves, laughing and covered in grout. "We did it," Ava corrected. The diner held a celebration. Live music, free coffee, and a toast from Ava Dye. "To the place that gave me back my name," she said. The crowd cheered. But later, in the quiet of the night, Ava sat alone in the booth where it all began. She traced the tabletop with her finger. Maya slid in across from her. "It still amazes me," Ava said. "I walked in broken, and somehow, I stayed." Maya reached across, just like that first night. "You didn't stay, Ava. You rose." The seasons shifted. Autumn rolled in, brushing the diner windows with crisp leaves and gold light. Ava had begun introducing new dishes, ones her mother used to make. "Try the sweet potato pie," she'd beam. It became a bestseller. Maya noticed the change in her, a deeper ease, a certainty. One afternoon, Ava brought in an old photo. "That's my mom," she said, placing it by the register. Maya looked at the smiling woman in the frame. She'd be proud. Ava blinked, steadying her breath. "I hope so. I'm doing this for her, for both of us." Maya nodded. "You've taken what broke you, and built something sacred." The diner felt fuller somehow, not just with people, but with purpose. The scent of cinnamon and coffee wrapped around everyone like memory. Ava was no longer someone passing through. She belonged. A food critic arrived without warning, stern, silver-haired, scribbling into a notebook. The staff froze. Ava took a deep breath and approached. "Welcome," she said with practiced calm. The critic ordered coffee and pie. He said little. Maya kept watching from the kitchen, mouthing, "Breathe." When the pie arrived, the critic took one bite and paused. Ava's heart pounded. Then another bite. And another. Minutes later he stood, nodded curtly, and left. Everyone stared at Ava. Hours passed until the review dropped online. 5 stars. An unassuming gem, it read. Run by souls who've clearly lived. Ava read it aloud, voice trembling. "He saw us." Maya grinned. "That's because you finally let yourself be seen." They stood in the kitchen, quiet and proud. With the review's success, offers came pouring in, TV interviews, partnerships, franchising proposals. Ava looked overwhelmed. Maya said, "Say yes to only what feeds the soul." Ava declined the flashier offers but agreed to one, a community cookbook. It would feature recipes from the diner and locals. She spent nights gathering stories, handwriting notes, photographing dishes. One customer handed her a recipe and said, "This saved my marriage." Ava laughed. "That's going on the back cover." As the pages came together, Ava realized this wasn't just a cookbook. It was a preservation of resilience. Maya leafed through a draft and whispered, "This is who you are." Ava smiled. "Not just me. Us." In every dish, a second chance simmered. The diner hosted a community night to celebrate the book launch. String lights glowed overhead, live jazz played in the corner, and people read aloud excerpts between bites of pie and cornbread. Ava stood by the counter, watching it all, her heart full. Maya approached with a small wrapped box. "For you," she said. Inside was a simple brass key. Ava blinked. "What's this? Your name. On the deed. You're not just a partner now. You're co-owner." Ava's throat tightened. "But why now?" Maya smiled. "Because you're not going anywhere, and neither am I." They hugged beneath the glow of the neon sign, the sound of laughter and clinking plates around them. The diner had become more than a business. It was a living testament to what happens when you stay, and when someone stays with you. Later that night, after the crowd left and the lights dimmed, Ava sat alone in the booth where her story began. She held the key in her hand, the weight of it sinking in. Maya joined her, silent at first. Then, You know what I think. Ava turned. What? Maya leaned back. I think storms don't destroy. They reveal. Ava considered that, her eyes misting. I was so lost when I walked in here. And now? Maya asked. Ava looked around, at the framed recipes, the faded counter, the worn booth. Now I'm found, not in who I was, but in who I chose to be. Maya nodded. You chose right. Outside, the wind picked up. Leaves scattered down the street. But inside, it was calm. Rooted. At whole. When winter arrived with early snow, blanketing the street outside the diner in silence. Ava opened early, shoveling the walkway before customers arrived. Inside, she brewed extra coffee, humming softly. Maya entered, wrapped in a thick scarf, smiling. You're here before sunrise now? Ava grinned. Someone's got to beat the frost. The bell jingled as the first regular walked in. He handed Ava a hand-knit scarf. My wife made it, says you're family now. Ava's eyes welled. Family. A word that once felt foreign now felt earned. Maya caught her expression. You okay? Ava nodded. More than okay. I'm home. Snow drifted softly outside, and the diner filled with warmth, coffee, and quiet conversations. The kind that stitched people back together. That afternoon, Ava received a letter in elegant handwriting. She opened it carefully. Inside was a formal invitation to a gala, one hosted by her former world. Maya peeked over her shoulder. You going? Ava stared at it. I don't know. It feels like a trap or a test. Maya said, you don't owe them anything, but if you go, go as who you are now, not who they remember. That night, Ava pulled out a vintage dress. Simple, classic, once her mother's. I think I'm ready, she whispered. Maya helped her zip it up, hands steady. You don't need to prove anything, but if you want to remind them who you've become, I'll be waiting right here. Ava smiled. That's all I need. The gala was held in a grand hotel ballroom, glittering with chandeliers and polished marble. Ava stepped in alone, heads turning immediately. She moved with quiet confidence, ignoring whispered judgments. Her father approached, surprised. Ava, you came? She nodded. Not for you. For me. This world still belongs to you, he said. No, Ava replied calmly. It never did. She spoke to donors, ignored critics, and when asked what she did now, she simply said, I co-own a diner. We serve stories with the coffee. By the end of the night, a woman approached her in tears. My daughter walked away too. Thank you for showing there's life beyond all this. Ava's heart swelled. This wasn't a return. It was closure. Returning to the diner felt like stepping back into truth. Ava found Maya deep in the kitchen, elbows deep in dough. You survived, Maya teased. I did more than that, Ava smiled. I remembered who I am. They baked in silence for a while, the rhythm grounding. Then Ava said, there's something I realized tonight. I don't hate where I came from, but I don't need to carry it anymore. Maya looked up, eyes kind. That sounds like freedom. Ava nodded. It is. They finished the pies and stepped outside, hands red from the cold. The sky was ink black and full of stars. I never imagined this life, Ava said. But I'm grateful for it every day. Maya replied, that's the kind that lasts. On Christmas Eve, the diner stayed open late. Locals brought cookies, sang carols, and filled the space with joy. Ava wore a Santa hat. Maya strung lights along the booths. A young girl climbed onto a stool and asked Ava, are you the lady who owns this place? Ava knelt beside her. One of them. Me and my best friend run it together. The girl beamed. It's the nicest place I've ever been. Ava laughed softly. Then you're always welcome here. Later, Maya raised a mug. To the storm that brought you through our door. Ava clinked hers against it. and the calm that made me stay. Snow began falling gently again, and as the bell over the door jingled one last time that night, Ava felt what she never thought she would. Peace, not as an ending, but as a beginning. The new year dawned quiet and cold. Maya and Ava opened the diner before sunrise, a tradition now. As they prepped, Maya pulled out an envelope. "This came for you," she said. Ava opened it to find a handwritten letter from her younger cousin. The same one who used to idolize her. "You showed me it's okay to start over," it read. Ava's fingers trembled. "I never thought anyone in my family would understand," Maya replied. "But you left the door open." Ava stared out the window at the quiet street. "Maybe it's time to open another one." "What do you mean?" Maya asked. Ava turned to her. "We've built something here. What if we taught others how to do the same?" Maya blinked. "Franchise?" Ava shook her head. "No, legacy? A training program. For people like us. Lost girls who need a place to land." Maya smiled slowly. "Now that's a future." Within weeks, Ava and Maya turned the diner's storage room into a small classroom. They called it the second table. Flyers went out. Women showed up, young, older, battered by life. Ava stood before them on the first day, nervous. "This isn't just about cooking," she said. "It's about starting again, with dignity." Maya handed out aprons, each stitched with the word, "belong." Some cried just reading it. The lessons were simple: eggs, coffee, balance sheets, but what bloomed was confidence. "You think they'll make it?" Maya whispered after class. Ava looked at the students. "They already have." They walked through the door. It echoed Ava's first night. And now she was the one giving the blanket, the coffee, the second chance. One afternoon, a new girl arrived late, barely 18, soaked by rain, eyes wide and empty. Ava met her at the door with a towel. "You're safe," she said. The girl hesitated, then stepped inside. Later, Ava told Maya, "She reminds me of me." Maya responded, "Then, she's in the right place." That evening, as the new girl washed dishes, she looked at Ava. "Why are you doing this?" Ava replied, "Because someone did it for me." The girl nodded slowly, eyes glassy. Ava turned away to wipe a table, hiding her emotion. The cycle had begun again, not as repetition, but as rebirth. Each plate washed, each lesson taught, became a thread in something larger. The diner no longer served just meals. It served healing. Months passed. The second table grew, its graduates finding work, opening carts, teaching others. The diner remained the heartbeat, but its rhythm echoed farther now. One night, during cleanup, Maya sat in the booth where everything began. Ava joined her, slipping into the opposite seat. "Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you hadn't stayed that night?" Maya asked. Ava nodded. "All the time." She reached for Maya's hand. That one act of kindness, it rewrote everything. Maya smiled. "I didn't know who you were." "You knew I was human," Ava said. Silence settled like snow. Then Ava added, "One day, they'll tell stories about this place. And I hope they start with you." Maya squeezed her hand. "Only if they end with you." Years later, the booth still stood. The neon sign still buzzed. The coffee still poured. A teenage waitress wiped down the counter, glancing out at the snowstorm outside. She was new. Nervous, tight. Then the door burst open, and in stumbled a young woman, drenched and lost. The waitress rushed to her. "Come in. Sit, I'll get you a blanket." From the kitchen, Ava watched, older now, her hair streaked with gray. Maya leaned beside her, arms crossed. "Another storm," she said. Ava nodded. "And another beginning." The past folded quietly into the present. Not as repetition, but as legacy. And as the door swung closed against the cold, Ava whispered the words she once heard long ago. "You're safe now,